to On the Wild, episode number 41. I'm Anush Basker. With me, as always, Riley Keenan. Some stuff went down this week.
A lot of stuff went down this week.
An alarming amount of stuff. We obviously have Odell, and we should probably start with him because you are a Browns fan.
Yeah.
What the hell is happening? I don't even...
Dude, it's just gotten brutal. Out of nowhere, too. We knew there was a lot of issues in the organization. It's a bit of a dysfunctional organization. We've known this for a while. But, the problem has been Baker's not getting OBJ the ball. And then now it's just unraveled into this.
Yeah, Odell's dad posted a video of all the times Baker either just didn't throw it to him or missed him.
Yeah. With some great music playing.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny. I didn't watch the whole thing because it was just the same thing over and over again, which was the whole point. But yeah, it was kind of funny.
It was funny.
I see his point. He's an upset father.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I get it.
Yeah, and he used to play football, so he knows a thing or two.
Yeah,
but
it's a bad look because you're gonna put it on Odell and say what have you been saying to him? Did you engineer that video? Because I don't know if his dad's really that technology intuitive.
Yeah, because when something comes from a player's family, trainer, anything like that, people are gonna assume it came from the player himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So when he posts that video, people are gonna assume, Odell's told him he's not throwing me the ball.
And it doesn't help too that LeBron posted the same day, "Free my boy OBJ," where it looks like not only LeBron, you're a Browns fan. I get you might be a bit of a Cowboys fan too, but you're a Browns fan. You've been to the games this year.
Yeah, I think he's valuing more of his friendship.
Exactly, which I get. But then once again, that's is OBJ saying that to you because you're LeBron James? Can you say that? I don't think OBJ is. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I think he's definitely distanced himself from Baker a bit and from the team in general. But I don't think he's got
I never really got the vibe he wanted to be there in the first place.
Yeah, not at all. He went from New York to Cleveland, and obviously he had incredible numbers in New York, and that was with a depleted Eli Manning. So to come to Cleveland with a rookie quarterback or a sophomore quarterback, the guy that really hasn't come into his own yet, it's a bad situation for him. And let's be real. I've said it before on the podcast. I do think it's a personal thing with Baker that he sees OBJ out there. He's sometimes just going, I want to look like a dog, and I'm going to get the ball to someone else because I can. And at times, it's he's wide open, get him the ball, you're going to win the game. It's brutal.
I just don't like how people are trying to make it like it's Baker's fault or Odell's fault.
It's neither.
I don't think it's either their fault. It's just they don't play well together, and that's okay. So just get rid of Odell. If I'm going to blame anybody, it's
management,
the Browns organization. You went 8-3 without Odell last year.
Yeah. Made
the playoffs, won a playoff game, and kept it close with the Chiefs. Why would you not get rid of Odell? Because one, you're paying him a lot of money, and two, you played better without him.
Yeah.
And that's just a statistical fact that
it's true.
Baker's better without Odell.
Yeah. He kind of has that chip on his shoulder, okay, Odell's not here, I'm going to perform even better.
Yeah. And I feel like he spreads the ball around a lot more than when Odell's there.
Yeah, it seems when Odell's not there, it seems like a lot more people get involved. You see him Baker's got 5 or 6 different targets tonight or different receptions tonight. You don't see that when OBJ's in the lineup.
Yeah.
It's kind of he's kind of hardwired focused on Landry and Higgins and then, a little bit of Hooper and Njoku. Haven't really got Bryant involved that much, even though he was one of their best red zone guys last year. But yeah, I like you said, I think media is a big part of it, and guys like Stephen A. constantly saying the same thing over and over again. But it's just a bad look on the franchise. It looks bad on OBJ, but I don't put too much onus on him. I thought Baker handled that press conference really well. Probably the best one he's had in the NFL. He's made some mistakes, said some pretty stupid things, but he just looked so sad in that interview. You knew, he said he was surprised by it. Obviously, everyone was, but it had to hurt. I mean, he thinks he's a good friend of his. I don't know what their relationship's like or anything like that, but it looks tough on them. But the one thing I don't get is, we both said it, that they should just trade him in the offseason before the season even started. And then we're coming up on the trade deadline. Some big moves are being made, and they're not moving him. And then now we come to 2 straight days in a row. He shows up to practice, and they don't have him practice, with Stefanski saying he's not even really a part of the team right now. So why didn't you trade him?
It's because the money. You're going to have to cut him now because you have to trade him in the offseason because of the amount of money he makes. Because Von Miller got traded, and we'll get to Von Miller in a second, but Denver has enough cap space to withstand that $9 million that they had to pay. Cleveland doesn't have that money. They don't have any money.
They don't. And they got to pay so many guys,
yeah,
too.
well, extensions free up cap space.
Yeah.
So, but that's all going to happen in the offseason. So, if you want to trade him to New Orleans literally can't buy a coffee with their cap space.
Oh, yeah. It's brutal.
Neither can Green Bay.
Yeah.
So, you can't trade him to those teams without withstanding some of that cap hit. But they can't even do it. So, like, it's a tough thing. So, they're gonna have to cut him now, because you can't just send him home, because it's only a matter of time before the Players Association gets involved.
Yeah, and now this creates a horrible place now where Landry's a really good friend of OBJ, and they're treating him pretty poorly.
Yeah,
and that's Baker's number one target.
Yeah.
And you take Baker's number one target out of there, Higgins is your number one guy. And I love Higgins, but he's got a lot of brutal drops this year. He can't be that dude.
Yeah, and Landry's gonna say all the right things, but this is gonna happen, and you know what they're gonna do in the offseason? They're gonna ask him to take a pay cut.
Absolutely.
So that's just gonna make him even more mad, which is gonna probably eventually lead to him leaving.
Yeah, and if anybody's gonna take a pay cut, needs to take a pay cut, it has to be Baker. And I know he probably won't, because he's the quarterback, and he could get anywhere from 25 to 30 million. In my book, you're not worth
35.
Yeah, and he's not worth that. He's just not. He's your franchise quarterback. He's done better than anybody in the last 20 years has done, but he's also had some of the best players on the team. He just really hasn't performed. Last year, I thought he was far above average, but this year it's just, he can't even get the ball in the end zone. I think, last game was not his fault. I mean, a lot of the media will tell you it was his fault, but there were some drops, there was a fumble. Those last two drives, they would have scored if not for that, but he needs to take a lot of onus.
He's a good quarterback, and good quarterbacks make $30 million now. The days of $20 million for a good quarterback, that was 2014.
Yeah.
Now it's $30 million is a good quarterback. We're 40 to 45. That's where you see Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar's probably going to be around there.
Yeah.
Dak, all of them.
And rightfully so. He should be getting some good money, 30 to 35. But I think, he kind of just has to understand, we got to pay Denzel Ward. We just gave Myles Garrett a bag. Nick Chubb's going to be getting some big money. Obviously, Kareem Hunt's going to be a free agent eventually.
He's gone, because now you see what Dearness Johnson looks like.
Exactly. So, man, you can get him pretty cheap. So, I think he kind of just has to have that MO of you know what, if I take a pay cut, we can be a much better team. And also realize I'm not playing one of these top quarterbacks. I mean, it's tough to say. As an outsider, I always think oh yeah, I would take a pay cut because I want to win. But at the end of the day, if I'm really in that situation, I got an agent pushing me hey, you can get 30 mil. I'd want to get the bag. But I think it just comes down to what you really value. And if he really wants to win, like he said, winning's the most important thing in that press conference. You got to do something there.
Yeah. I just hope this doesn't become a Kirk Cousins sort of thing where they franchise him and then they try to franchise him again.
Yeah.
Then he ends up leaving, and then you have to look for a quarterback again.
Exactly. It's just brutal. And all the people saying start Case Keenum. Come on.
Dude.
Come on.
Backup quarterbacks play good at the start because quarterbacks or defenses don't know what to expect at first.
And the offense is making a much more simple system for that game.
Look at what Geno Smith did against the Rams. He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the next week he looked terrible.
Brutal. Yeah, because they started to figure it out.
Because now you're starting a game plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, backup quarterbacks, they look good at first, and then if he does play this week, let's take a look at Cooper Rush, see if he can repeat what he did against Minnesota. But moving on to Von Miller, because when that happened, I immediately texted you. I was like, who let this happen?
Honestly, who let that happen?
Because Von Miller isn't the player he was in Super Bowl 50, where he won Super Bowl MVP. But if you think he's not still a top 10, top 15 pass rusher in the NFL,
you're out your mind.
You're kidding yourself.
Yeah,
so,
come on now.
You just made the favorite, the predominant favorite.
Absolutely. A lot of people are saying Cowboys are the guys. Packers are looking better. Buccaneers are still there. It's the Rams. They already had the best defense in football. They added it on.
They've taken a step back.
They have taken a step back, but going into the year, they had the best defense in football. You add Von Miller. You add one of the most talented quarterbacks we've really ever seen in Matthew Stafford, making Cooper Kupp, yeah. Already a phenomenal wide receiver, but he's having a career year.
Yeah.
I mean, this team just doesn't really have a issue.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because the offense is gonna put up points, and their run defense is their weakness. But if they put up 30 points a game, you're not gonna be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
So now you have Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, who people say, oh, Leonard Floyd's not that good. He has 8 sacks this year, and people are like, oh, well, he's playing with Aaron Donald. Yeah, he's playing with Aaron Donald. And now you're adding in Von Miller.
Yeah, and now you're not gonna be able to triple team guys like Aaron Donald because you gotta watch out for Von Miller.
You can't double team Von Miller because Aaron Donald's right there. You can't double team. Well, you're going to have to double team Aaron Donald because this is the first time in Von Miller's life that he's not the best defensive player on the team.
Yeah.
He may not even be the second best. He's not.
He's not. You can't throw the ball at Jalen Ramsey. You got to look on the other side of the field. But you're going to have 2 guys rushing you from that side. So good luck.
I may be gassing the Rams, but I honestly don't know how you beat them.
I don't. We both said at the beginning of the year, as soon as they made that Matthew Stafford trade, we thought they were favorites.
Yeah, I said they were going to win the Super Bowl, or they were going to the Super Bowl when they made the trade, which was in February.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just thinking now, though, we look great with these Rams picks, but you got the Browns, and I got Rams Chiefs.
Yeah, I said Browns right into the Super Bowl.
Both teams are not living up
to be honest,
the hype.
Does the AFC really have a clear favorite right now?
I'd say Buffalo, but even then, they've had some tough losses. And then guys, teams like Tennessee, Baltimore, they've had...
Well, Tennessee's done now because Henry's out.
Henry's gone, so... Yeah, and Julio really hasn't been healthy or playing to anywhere near his career level. So Tennessee's out of the picture, and then the Colts.
Atlanta won the trade.
Yeah, Atlanta did win the trade. The Colts can't really finish a game out recently. I still like Carson Wentz a lot. I think he's getting a lot of hate when he's been playing pretty well.
Except that one.
That one pick was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But there's no clear favorite in the AFC. I'd say. I think guys. Listen, with a guy like Patrick Mahomes too, we're putting too much pressure on him. I've been known to do it, say like he's one of the greatest players I've ever seen, maybe the best. He's having a bad year, and that's fine.
Dude, some of these interceptions though are not his fault. The one he threw against the Giants, it hit the running back right in the face.
Yeah,
and it just popped up.
Exactly. He's
in one of those slumps, or not slumps, but I guess slumps where like every ball that gets into the air, it seems that the defense is going to pick it off.
Yeah.
It was like Dallas early in the season where they were getting turnovers like it was nothing. Every ball that came loose or whatever, they were going to grab it.
Yeah. And like all these talk about like, oh, we thought, teams are going to figure out Lamar Jackson, teams are going to figure out Kyler, and they figured out Patrick Mahomes.
Them out because they're too fast.
Exactly. I don't think they figured out Patrick Mahomes yet. I think he's
they
not
figured out the
playing
Chiefs' offense. They figured out a way to neutralize the Chiefs' offense.
Absolutely.
Which, Tampa Bay did it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What's called, it was originated Tampa 2, but like cover 2 defense. Just don't let anything go over your head and you'll be just fine.
Yeah. But listen, I think we've all put a lot of pressure on Mahomes to be this GOAT, and he's having a bad year. And I think that's okay. He's been playing out of his mind leading into this year. He was essentially won MVP as a rookie, almost went to the Super Bowl that year, won it the very next year, and lost it the year after. He's done so much in so little time. Give him a little break. He's going to figure it out. I don't believe for a second that this Chiefs team isn't going to make a run in the playoffs.
What they need is a number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, oh, they have Hill and Kelsey. Well, they're kind of doubling both of them at times. So now they don't have anybody else who can beat single coverage.
Yeah, and they've had a revolving door in receivers, besides from like Hardman, who's been there for a good amount of time. Yeah. It's been new guys coming in and out.
It was supposed to be Sammy Watkins, and when he was healthy, he was good.
Good.
He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Odell?
Yeah, I thought Odell was going to get moved to either the Chiefs or even the Buccaneers, which I was really scared for. But
I was hearing the Saints. Saints were about
I thought Saints,
because
Green
of their
Bay
cap, they can't.
Exactly. And now that Michael Thomas is down, it would have made perfect sense. So
killed my fantasy team.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I want you to win this week, to be honest.
Yeah, Riley's undefeated. He's what, 8-0?
8-0, yeah.
I'm 3-5.
Which is you and I'm gonna shout out Mitch. You and Mitch are 2 of the best fantasy teams I've ever seen, and you're both like 8th and 9th in the league, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I've gotten a bit unlucky, but Michael Thomas obviously is out for the year. I had Calvin Ridley. Hopefully he's okay. He's taking a little mental break. Hopefully he's all good. But it's fantasy football. I don't really care that much.
It is what it is. Well, we have like $10 on the line.
Yeah,
not much.
Yeah.
Switching gears now, though, to Houston's own Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, speaking of Houston, congratulations to Atlanta for winning the World Series.
Atlanta righted the Falcons wrong in Houston.
Easily.
Because I didn't even put it together. They lost that Super Bowl in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So they
fixed
it.
But yeah,
righted the ship. Even though I'd much rather have the Falcons win than the Braves.
Yeah. But man, the Braves, without Acuna and without Soroka, go on to win a title after being 500 in August. Kudos to them, man. I couldn't be happier for Freddie Freeman as well, the Canadian boy.
Hopefully the Atlanta curse is done.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. They blew the 3-1 lead to the Dodgers last year. Obviously the Falcons blown lead. Georgia, remember, in the national championship to Alabama.
They lose their hockey team to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Which is just brutal.
Hopefully it's over now.
Yeah. But speaking of the pride of Houston.
Yeah.
Travis Scott's dropping an album. Well, a project.
We don't know actually what it... I think it's a project.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a mixtape. Yeah. Because I think it's going to be like The Birds in the Trap to Astroworld. It's going to be the thing that comes out
it's going to be shorter than that, though.
Definitely, yeah. I think it'll be like 10... I think anywhere between 8 to 12 songs.
Well, we'll know by the time this is out. But
yeah, it comes out tonight.
Dystopia,
yeah.
Utopia.
Yeah, which I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this album, or project. Because I think Utopia is going to be, like, you'll see anywhere from 15 to 20 songs. It's going to be a big album with a lot of features. Are we going to see features on this one? Who knows?
Maybe a couple. I know Escape Plan is on this. Those who have heard it, it's not bad. It's very, like textbook, like Travis Scott. Yeah, like stuff like we've heard before.
He's been performing it a lot in, like, concerts.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be the outro, because Escape Plan.
Yeah, that'd be perfect going into Utopia. Yeah, that'd be pretty fire.
But
it's definitely going to be conceptual.
Yeah.
Even though it's a mixtape.
Yeah. I don't even know what to really expect, because it's going to be completely different, I think, from what we've had in the past.
Yeah.
But
this definitely tells us that Utopia is coming out 2022.
I'd assume, yeah.
Because he doesn't drop two things in 1 year usually. He's pretty much consistently dropped something every year for the most part, except for this year. Or no, 2020.
2020, yeah. Well, he dropped right at the end of 2019 on Christmas. Yeah,
which led into
basically 2020.
Yeah, which Jack Boys is so underrated in my opinion. Like, obviously, like, we're huge Travis fans, but we know when he drops a bad song or a bad album, if there has been.
I'm not afraid to say if I dislike something.
Absolutely. Like, when I first listened to Astroworld, I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
And then it grew on me.
Even to this day, like, I don't like songs like, I don't like Yosemite.
Yeah, there's certain songs that's like
Flying High is terrible on Rodeo.
Yeah.
I hate that song.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like, I'm not a huge Piss in the Grave guy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we're not delusional Travis fans. We understand when he puts out bad music, but I'm pretty confident going into this one, because he's, his features weren't great going into this year, but I think he's redeemed himself a lot.
Yeah,
with
some of them.
Flocky and...
Yeah, Flocky, Fair Trade.
Fair Trade
one of
was
it.
great.
I think that was his best feature since Out for the Night.
I really liked him on Praise God, even though some of his part was taken away. His second verse on that song is so good.
Yeah, and then you had Bubbly
on Young Thug's album.
Bad.
Which I'm not even a Young Thug guy, and I really like that album. Living It Up with Post Malone and A$AP Rocky is a vibe. Me and Liam have been listening to that all week.
Yeah. But he's coming into this album somewhat hot.
Yeah.
On his features, at least for the last couple ones. Some of them are just bad.
Yeah, they've been pretty off.
But
I mean, I'll give it to him. He's trying to do something new with some of them, but it's just, trial and error.
Yeah.
It was an error. Let's not do it again.
But you wanted to talk about, like, our favorite, or, like, rank the discography?
Oh yeah, like, I guess we won't include Alfaro, but, like, from Days Before Rodeo, Birds in the Trap,
Astroworld,
and
we're doing Jack Boys too.
I guess we could include Jack Boys to round it out with 5.
Okay.
I think we could both agree Rodeo's number 1. Or has your opinion changed?
Dude, it's like Astroworld's right there.
Really?
Like I would listen to Astroworld before I would listen to Rodeo, but I think Rodeo is a better album.
Yeah, like sense. My thing with it is, like, if I'm going for a long car drive, I'm gonna put on Astroworld, but if I'm at a party, I'm gonna put on Rodeo.
Yeah. I'll put Rodeo 1 because I think it's a better album.
Yeah. And then Astroworld 2.
I'll put Astroworld 2.
I'll agree with you. And then I put Birds 3.
I wouldn't put Birds 3.
Really? I almost like Birds at 2, but I'll keep it at 3.
I'll put Days Before Rodeo at 3.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably put Jack Boys before
really
Birds.
The only
thing with Birds though, the thing with Birds is, like, I don't go back to any of the songs.
Really? I think The Ends is my like favorite intro song from Travis. I think Stargazing was, like, the perfect intro for Astroworld, but I think The Ends is still like my favorite song.
Yeah, Stargazing is probably my favorite.
Yeah,
Can't wait for him to drop Utopia. We can do like the ultimate album.
Yeah,
we have to do more of those. But
yeah, we'll have some coming soon. We'll probably put a poll out about 2 or 3 people that you guys choose which one we do.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably put Birds in last. Because, like, there's not really that much that I take away from that.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything conceptual. I think he kind of just threw, like, 12 or 13 songs.
Not even conceptually. I could care less about that. Just, like, I don't really listen to any of the songs on there.
Really? What? Okay, well, running through each of the albums maybe in order. What's your favorite song from, like, Days Before Rodeo?
See, most people go with Drugs You Should Try It.
I'm going with Drugs You Should Try It, for sure.
But I would say it's a tie between that and Backyard.
Backyard, yeah. I like Gray a lot, too.
Gray's good, too.
Gray's great.
I love Backyard, like starting with him eating the chips.
Oh, yeah. It's great. And then we move on to Rodeo. I think we both like 90210.
Yeah, 90210. I feel like it's like a consensus. Like, that's his best song.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, yeah, everyone likes that song. Yeah, because it's his best one.
It's really good.
What do you want me to say? I think there's a lot of great. Like Maria, I'm Drunk's right there for me.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler's great.
On My Diss Side. Nightcrawler, I haven't listened to that.
I think even Wasted's super underrated. When I first heard it, I was
Impossible,
yeah. Nice like
Apple
this.
Pie.
Great song. Apple Pie's instrumental is so awesome. I didn't like it the first time I heard it, but yeah, Travis is like, I've said it many times.
I can tell.
He's just one of those guys that like his music just grows on you.
Yeah.
The more you listen to it. And then moving on to Birds and the Trap Sing McKnight. I'd say either The Ends or maybe Guidance. I just like the vibe of Guidance. It's a good song.
Not a big Guidance. I'd probably go with Way Back.
Oh, Way Back's great. People say the sample from Lil Uzi Vert's better. I do not agree with that. It's a good song, but come on.
Yeah. No.
He's got 2 different types of styles in that song. It's just great. I love it. And then we got Astro World.
Astro Thunder.
Astro Thunder, yeah. I remember you were like, because I kept saying like, not Yosemite. It was Stop Trying to Be God, and then what's my other favorite?
Carousel.
Carousel was one of them because I was just so surprised that Frank Ocean was in it that I was like loved it even more than I think I do now. But yeah, Stop Trying to Be God's up there. But I remember you being like, you gotta listen to Astroworld again, man. I was like, it's okay, it's good. I'm like, no, just put headphones on, listen to the 8D audio, and play it. And I just remember hearing that thing go around my head and be like, this is awesome. This is the greatest thing in the world. It's such a vibe. It's honestly a perfect song, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. And then Jack Boys.
What to Do, easily.
What to Do is in my top 5 Travis songs, easily.
Yeah. I mean, we did this like a long time ago.
Yeah. And then even like Gang Gang is so great too, because like it's just got that little sprinkle of Travis. He's barely even in the song, but his verse is like perfect.
It's like 10 seconds, and you're like,
he just elevates it. He's just like, because I mean, if you like, what's his face, Mo Bamba, what's his name?
Sheck West.
Sheck West. If you like Sheck West, you'll like the song. If you don't, skip his part.
Yeah.
But his first verse is kind of annoying to me. But his second verse is a hell of a lot better. But Don Toliver on the song and the hook is incredible. And then Luxury Tax kills it at the end. He hasn't done too much since that song, but I've been waiting for him to drop music, because if he does anything like he did there, he's gonna have a really good career, because he's super young as well.
Yeah. And you had Gotti.
Gotti's so good.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke. Rest in peace, man. Like that verse, I just remember people said like you could even take Travis off that song, and you granted, I think you could, and it would still be unbelievable.
I don't think he did that bad.
No, not at all. I think his verse like adds some freshness to it, and he kind of had a bit of a drill vibe with it. You know, he didn't go all the way with it, but I like what he did. He kind of did something unique there.
Yeah.
And they created a great song. Even the one with Young Thug's pretty good. I heard it so much on TikTok West. That I just got it out of my mind. But yeah, there's even Highest in the Room. Like, I wasn't a fan of Rosalina's part, or Rosalia. But Lil Baby, I thought, did a great job.
Yeah. I found a version with just Lil Baby. Yeah. It's not that, like, Rosalia sounded fine. It was just she didn't fit, like, the vibe of it.
Yeah, it didn't really work with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's been a bad Travis project yet. I guess, like, Al Farrell, you can say, like, is not great or even good, but like
it's also his first mixtape,
and he didn't really know what his style was at the time. I remember seeing videos of him performing in front of like 4 people, and it was like, this just doesn't work. Like, but he figured it out with Days Before Rodeo. Like, he had a lot of different genres kind of on that album, and he's continued that pace. Like, I know a lot of people see him as like this mainstream guy, which he is, but he's one of the few artists, I'll say, that's big that really changes it up a lot. Because as much as Drake is good, he kind of consistently follows the same strategy and formula. Same with Kanye, who kind of changed it up a bit.
Kanye does.
Kanye could. No, I can't even say he did that because Donda, there was like 15 completely different songs.
No, but you look at like all of his albums are basically completely different.
But like J. Cole, like he changes it up. He
experimented with the off season.
Yeah, which I loved because it was a totally different vibe. And a lot of people call that album mid. I don't understand. I think it's the second best album ever. From him.
Okay.
Not ever, sorry. Yeah, that would have been a wicked take. But yeah, no, I still think, what is it called? It's literally right there. 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah.
I think that's still his best, and I think For Your Eyes Only is not too far behind, but the off-season was...
I put off-season above For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah, me too, for sure. It's just like, it works so well together, the whole album.
feel like Forest Hills Drive in the off-season is like Rodeo and Astroworld to me, where like I know Rodeo is better, it is, but I probably would listen to the off season or Astroworld before.
It literally works perfectly because at a party you're gonna put on GOMD and No Role Models, but in the car I'm listening to the off season. I'm getting fired up.
I'm listening to Hunger on Hillside.
Yeah, I'm listening to Hunger on Hillside, getting fired up to 95 South. Like, are you kidding me? Amari too, and he belts out those chords.
100 mil.
100 mil, that's great too. I remember, man, I still regret not picking Hunger on Hillside from that Ultimate album.
Oh, the Ultimate album?
Yeah. I remember you said it, and I was like, I totally forgot about that song. And it's now probably my favorite song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a great vibe. It's got a motivational part to it, and like, even Let Go My Hand too is one of those songs. It's like, he just did something completely new. He got very introspective, talked about his, having kids son. And stuff. Great. Yeah. I just loved him. Like he's always been a pretty mature artist, but he says some stupid things all the time. But
in his earlier stuff.
Yeah, but he really showed that like I know what I'm doing. I know who I am as a man and what I have to do and what's going to happen with my kids. Because I think a lot of people don't really think about that with fame, like knowing like your kids are going to grow up hearing like you got to be like your parent.
I mean, he brought it up in his Pipe Down freestyle.
Yeah,
Heaven's EP, talking about like he takes his kids out of the gaze of the public.
Yeah.
Because, like, hating is their favorite. I think that was actually the line. Like, hating is their favorite subject.
I think, like, a lot of people say, like, you get famous, it grants your kid a lot of opportunity to become also famous. But I really respect those people that are like, I'm going to try to hide my kids from the fame. I want them to grow up in a normal life and not have that.
As normal as it could be.
Yeah, as normal as you can be. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of privilege
like,
there.
Obviously, if you're Stormy Webster, you're never going to live a normal life.
Not at all. But if you can try to...
I mean, they bought her a bus.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
hilarious.
obviously, I'm not her parents. I haven't had a kid, so I can't say anything. But I wouldn't have a $3 million party for the 2-year-old who's not even going to remember it. That sets them up for a life.
But it's also their decision. People like hate
it's totally their decision.
This is also another thing, completely not related to this, but like when celebrities name their kids.
And people get mad
on Twitter are like, why would they name them that? It's not your kid.
It's their kid, man. Who cares?
Like honestly, who cares?
Literally.
It's not your kid.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, the name's Matt. What is your generic name? Shut up. Like, it's their name.
It's like, North. Why would they name her North?
It's funny. Like, it
like,
works.
Who cares?
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as it's not derogatory to anybody.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Although, Elon Musk's kid...
What's the name again?
It's like an equation.
Oh, yeah, it's a wicked equation.
I saw a video of somebody asking him, like, how's, whatever it is, I don't even remember. And he was like, what's that? It was like, oh, my son, it sounds like an equation. I was like, it does. Because
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, substitute teachers coming in and trying to say that, like,
yeah. I mean, they can't even say my name.
Every time they got it wrong.
Every single time.
And not even like, oh, he pronounced it wrrong. It was completely, they would always say Anju. It's A-N-U-J. And they say A-N-G-U. How does that work? I never got that.
I mean, it just got to a point where, like, I didn't even care.
Yeah, no, yeah. They're like halfway through high school. You're like, did I get it right? Yeah, close enough.
every substitute teacher.
Just move on.
They'd say whatever, like, Anju. And I'd be like, yeah. Here.
It would kill me the substitute. Yeah, it would kill me the substitute teachers that would say like the last names too. It's like, is this your first rodeo, guy? Because like they're reversed. Oh man. Oh, substitute teachers, man. Do you remember like the day after a substitute teacher would come in and the teacher, your real teacher would come in the room and be like, "You see these names on the board? You can stay after class. We're gonna have a little bit of conversation." And you're just like, damn it. I was really. I thought that teacher was cool.
Really, never that kid.
I was never that kid, but like,
if
the class was rowdy, I'm getting rowdy with it.
Yeah. But the greatest thing though is substitute teachers for gym class, because then you can just play basketball.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, what do you guys want to do? Basketball.
All right, we'll split the gym. Basketball over here. Do whatever you want over here.
And it would kill me when people would be like, we play basketball every day. No. We warm up playing basketball every day. We don't actually play basketball.
That doesn't count. There's like 12 people shooting on the same net.
Yeah. And then like, let's play handball. That's what we play. We played handball way too much.
Handball's fun though.
It was fun, but it would get pretty aggressive.
It would get frustrating when I would get everybody else involved. And then when I'm like, yo, I'm open, and they would pass to somebody else.
Or like you go for a crazy trick shot, and they're like, what are you doing? It's like, I haven't taken a single shot yet. Just allow me.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah, that would kill me.
Because we were the two people who would like try to get everybody involved.
Yeah. Because like, yeah, gym wasn't marked on like how good you are. It's just how much you get. Like,
which is dumb. Yeah. Because art is
marked on how good you are.
Yeah.
The amount of times like a teacher would be like, what is this? I'm like, I'm not an artist. What do you expect? She's like, you drew a hockey player. That's all I know how to do. I don't like, come on. What is this? But then gym class, if I can score 8 goals in hockey, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Which it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It should be marked on like Well, actually, no, should it? I don't know.
What we've always said is we should make 2 different gym classes.
A competitive and a friendly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just like academic and applied math.
Yeah. It just works that way. And there's always 2 gyms for the most part in high schools. Or at least there's a smaller one and a bigger one.
Yeah.
You can have the smaller one be the friendly one.
You know, it was so dumb in grade 12. I had gym, and I took it second semester, and I wasn't in your class, which was stacked. But
that was a good class.
I couldn't because I was taking a different class. But there was 4 classes, and we had 3 small gyms. So now like they would split the gym in half. There would be 3 small gyms, but there was 4 classes. So every 4th week you had to be in health. So I was like, all right, I'm dropping this. I'm taking my spare.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to do gym my last year.
Yeah, man. Health even sucked, too, because it was supposed to be like, oh, you go to the fitness center, but it's not like you're working out. You're just learning about...
Or you're learning about, like, whatever.
The body, which I already learned 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't need to know this again.
Or, like, drugs. They would teach us about drugs.
Yeah, they're like, hey, don't do cocaine. It's like, I know that.
Yeah.
I know.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good
place to wrap up, yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay well.
Peace.